Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is Eddie Marcus. A few moments ago, I posted a video on YouTube entitled God or Money, Human's Choice. I've just gone to a meeting and I'm coming back so I can report to you. The meeting supposedly was with the main pastor of a big Lutheran church here in Woodbury, Minnesota. I was supposed to have had this meeting a few weeks ago, but the snow came, and it was a big one, and I couldn't even get out of the driveway, so I made reservations to schedule an appointment later. And so the other day, I went over and see if I could schedule one with the main pastor. I don't want to be speaking to subordinates. And so he was busy that day, and would be out of town the next couple of days, so they called themselves scheduling me today. So I had prepared for this meeting, and while I was waiting, this is when the Lord put that message on my spirit that says, God or money, human's choice. And I hope you have listened to it, and if you haven't, I hope you would take the time to do just that. And it was pretty good. I really loved it. It is so precise and direct to the point. And anyway, having done that, I went over to meet with the pastor. And what I found out is that the pastor was not there, and he had scheduled me to meet with a subordinate, a youngster. Looked like a kid, but he was a pastor, so I would imagine he's either in college or maybe just got out, or he's young. I felt almost insulted that something so important to you, to God, and the human race. Now this pastor, big pastor, whomever he is, supposedly he was going to work with somebody who trying to do some housing, and they wanted to work with the church to facilitate that, and I guess that's okay. However, I still felt I didn't like it. But I went on in, this is a young man, I decided to talk with him. And it took me a moment to get started because there was something in the back of my mind, how it wasn't me, it was a message from God about you. And here I am talking to someone who speaks to someone else and to someone else. And that didn't go down good. So I began to tell him the story that I told on God or money, human's choice. And as I thought about it, I remembered that God is in charge. And perhaps that the main man, I'm sure, is probably as old as me or in his 50s. I haven't seen him. I don't know how old he is. But I got the impression that he would probably be set in his way. And by me speaking to this young pastor who says he would be getting his own church within a year, I thought about he represents the future. And perhaps it was better for me to give this message to this young guy than giving it to an older guy. And having talked with him, he referred to a scripture that encased exactly what I had shared with him. And you can imagine that made me feel a lot better. At least he saw where I was coming from, and he saw it scripturally. So I thought about how God works in mysterious ways. And so while I might have felt a little bit insulted earlier, I have to give God the credit because I went to do God's work. And I did God's work. However it goes down, whatever is the outcome, I did God's work in behalf of the human race. Now, I've also, ladies and gentlemen, I talked to you about not just listening and talking, you got to do something. Now, I have also contacted the council in Woodbury, and I've contacted the council with St. Paul, Minnesota, Woodbury, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I've requested to have a few minutes at one of their city council meetings so that I could share with them perhaps the same message. Excuse me, perhaps the same message about God or money. I can't even think of any other way to deliver a message that's so precise and to the point. And if I'm able to, to visit with them, that is the message that I will share with them. I'm not worried about the outcome or if it will have any purpose as far as they are concerned. It has purpose as far as I am concerned because it's doing God's business. I'm taking God's message out to the political front. I'm taking it out to the churches. I'm taking it out to the streets. And I'm doing it because I was instructed to do it. I know what it's all about. It's about thy will being done on earth as it is in heaven. Now, will that lead to that? Ask God. I'm just doing what God shared with me to do. And I'm saying this and I'm doing this because those of you who might be hearing this message, there are things that if you open up your eyes and your ears and your heart and your mind, God might be able to, God will be able to instruct you on additional things that needs to be done in different places of this country, perhaps different places of the world. When it all comes together, it can create a manuscript, a canvas of something that's absolutely fantastic as far as the work of God is concerned. And so I just wanted to make this report back to you to let you know that I'm not just talking, I'm walking. And where we go depends upon us and our leader. Our leader is God. So I want to thank you so very much for giving me just these few minutes of report. Have a good day.